Grease the groove, a training method that became popular 10 years ago or so when it was all the rage, and brought into the calisthenics world through Stephen Lowe in the first edition of Overcoming Gravity. We will learn what it is and why we don't think it's a good idea to use it in most cases. Disclaimer: I have a big personal bias against this training method because I can't count the hundreds of times I've had calls with potential clients that said they were using this method and got injured or saw absolutely no progress when using it, after a quite promising beginning, that is. What is GTG? It's a style of training where you do multiple submaximal sets of an exercise most days of the week, spread out throughout the day. The idea behind this training method is to accumulate more high quality volume, improving neuromuscular efficiency and getting more total volume done compared to typical sets and reps training. Sounds awesome, doesn't it? Truth is that the theoretical advantages of this training method can very quickly become its disadvantages. Number one being recovery. By constantly training the same movement throughout the day, multiple days a week, we don't give the body the time to really recover from stress we apply to it. In the beginning, we will see great gains since we're optimizing the movement by training it frequently and becoming incredibly efficient in performing it. Truth is that once those gains are over, we're uselessly stressing passive structures multiple times a day, most days, since our muscles aren't probably recovered yet. This especially becomes a problem when you don't GTG as you should, which is by using circa 50% of your max hold or reps. Extreme continuous stress on your joints while constantly using variations or an amount of reps that is too high for you is a recipe for disaster. Even if doing GTG correctly, we can only recover from so much volume. By not measuring it and just doing a few sets when feeling okay, or when passing the pull-up bar that's hung up on the door, we'll quickly do too much and not be able to recover from it. Even if you can take all the volume, joint issues are extremely common. Wrist pain in handstands is a classic, for example. Besides that, for complex skills, it's actually good to have a break between the sessions to really solidify new learned movement patterns. If you ever played an instrument and just couldn't get a riff right by trying it every single day, taking a few days off and then sitting down again and clicking right away, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Truth is, we can only take a certain amount of volume. The amount of volume we can handle can be trained over time. When I say time, I mean years, not weeks. GTG is a prime example of a short-term solution that has no long-term application. It is super effective in the beginning, making you think you have found the magic method, and often ends up with injuries that lead to you having to take time off, ultimately resulting in this approach taking much longer compared to building up volume tolerance slowly over time with quality work and good recovery.